in the early 80s, I'm with a man. This is before my husband's, and I'm with a man, and he kept telling me he would take me flying because he was a pilot, and he kept telling me, and he kept never doing it. So one day I'm thinking, well, why am I waiting for him to take me flying? If you want to go flying, go flying. So I went out to Santa Monica Airport, walked into a flight, school. I said, I want to go flying. The guy took me up in a little tin can, and I'm flying over the Pacific Ocean, and I'm thinking, wow, this is really scary. It's really cool. And boy, is he going to be impressed. Okay, the guy I'm dating.
Right. Because everything goes through
everything's through the filter, because that's what I was taught by my mother in a way. It was really
our generation. We were.
Yes. So I remember not only did I come down and I got to land the plane, I then decided to sign up for flying lessons because I thought that'll really impress him. What I ended up with migraine headaches, and I wouldn't quit because I had to now. I was in. And it ended up being, I had many close calls. I nearly died numerous times in an airplane. But what happened was when I went up alone for the first time, after I had 8 hours of flight instruction over the course of about 6 weeks. And on the 8th hour, my flight instructor got out of the airplane and he says, okay, go, just go. And I was in the airplane alone. And I realized that I'd been taught everything I needed to know. The man who was my instructor told me everything I needed to learn, how to get the plane up and land it. Now I had to trust him. I had to trust myself. I had to trust things I couldn't see, like aerodynamics,
Right.
And I remember getting in the plane, being there by myself, and this little plane became so big. It was like as big as a ballroom. That's how scared I was on my own. But I did everything he told me to do. And as the plane started to roll and it started to go faster and faster, the next thing that happened, it was airborne. And I'm alone, and I'm thinking, this is the coolest thing. This is better than any sex I will ever have ever had, anybody could ever had. It was off the chart amazing. And I landed the airplane, and at that moment, Daryl, I realized for the first time I had been totally responsible for my life. That I couldn't blame anybody, that I couldn't hold anybody else accountable. Nobody could fix it. Nobody could save me. Nobody could do it better than me. I had to do it. That was the defining moment in my life. And I use that analogy. There are lots of flying analogies that I use about, even in life, if something's going wrong and you go, I don't like the way this looks, or I don't feel good about this, and we go, it'll be fine, and we'll wait, and we'll go, and then you start to get further and further off course. In flying, you learn you can't do that. When you see that you're off course, you have to correct immediately. So what I have learned how to do is when I see something off course in my life, I fix it sooner rather than later, because it could go so far off of where I want it to be that I may never be able to correct. It may be a ruined relationship. It may be whatever, something that I cannot reclaim. So flying was the thing that showed me that if it's meant to be, it's up to me.